Number 5. Farthingwood. Landing the number 5 spot on this list is The Animals of Farthingwood. It's a cartoon from the early 90s and originated mainly in France and Britain, but also came from Belgium, Germany, and Spain. It ran from the 6th of January 1993 to the 21st of December 1995, and showed the adventures of the animals from, you guessed it, Farthingwood. This whole group of cute little critters lived in Farthingwood, but humans came and destroyed the entire forest. So they embark on a journey to White Deer Park, a nature reserve, where of course they would be safe. But things take a turn for the worst, when in one episode all the field mice in the group get impaled and stuck on a thorn bush. It gets worse too. A couple episodes later, a female pheasant in the group is shot and killed by a human. They run from the human and moments later realize she's gone. Her husband, Mr. Pheasant, then decides to be the hero and goes back for her. But he gets shot too when he freezes up after seeing his own wife plucked and cooked with a group of hungry humans feasting on her. And just to note one more thing, there's 39 episodes with a total of 24 on-screen deaths, mainly consisting of main characters. Number 4. The Moomins. This show came from Poland, and initially when you watch it, nothing seems wrong until this deranged looking thing called a Groke pops up. It kinda reminds me of Muck from Pokemon. He could also pass for Grimace too. But the scariest thing about the Groke is how it moves around and the sounds it makes. It kinda just moans and slowly moves across the screen. Also, it kills everything it goes around. In one episode of The Moomins, a butterfly flew near the Groke and died, just from breathing the same air. Maybe it's just a reminder for the kids to brush their teeth, or their morning breath will be just as deadly. Also, later on in the series, the Groke comes into the Moomins' house to have them barricade themselves in their own house and grab weapons in pure fear. Number 3. Alma. This short film looks surprisingly similar to Pixar's type of animation, doesn't it? Well, that's because it's from an animator who helped heavily on their movies. His name's Rodrigo Blas, and most of this film is pretty innocent and not too scary. It starts off with the main character named Alma seeing a doll that looks exactly like her in a nearby toy shop that's been closed. Then, things get bad because she decides it would be pretty awesome if she broke into the shop and stole it. So, she does exactly that and breaks in, but on her way to the doll she wants, she sees a doll on a bike banging into the door over and over again, like it wants out. Unfazed by this, she reaches out to the doll to grab it, and then there's a flash, and she can't move. The only thing she can move is her eyes, so she glances around to see many other dolls moving their eyes in a similar fashion. Seconds later, she realizes that she's become the doll, and so has everyone else on the shelf. Number 2. The Bunyip Song. This show is called Dot and the Kangaroo. It was made in Australia in 1977 and shows the animals of the outback. But during this one episode, something called the Bunyip screams onto the TV screen, and a song starts playing with the lyrics, "The Bunyip's very bad, and the Bunyip's very bold, and they tell me that the Bunyip is now 1,000 years old. You better hide very soon, or the Bunyip's going to get you in the Bunyip Moon." Also, it says in the song that it's the most unpleasant monster that you have ever seen. And what makes this even worse is that this Bunyip thing has actually been seen, according to Aboriginal accounts dating over 1,000 years. Number 1. The Plague Dogs. If you watched Watership Down, then you know how messed up it is. This movie is basically that with dogs. The same filming studio, voice actors, and directors all worked on this adaptation, called The Plague Dogs. The first scene in this movie shows a dog drowning and its motionless body settling at the bottom. Wow, way to start a movie, huh? Anyways, if for some horrid reason you decide to keep watching, you'll see a scene where a hunter calls a dog and it starts running for him. He puts his shotgun down right before the dog leaps into his lap, but in the process the dog's paw pulls the trigger and shoots the hunter in the face. It then shows him covering his eyes in pain, blood dripping everywhere, and pieces of his face scattered all over the dog's fur. After the dog sees this, it flees in terror, and then the guy is never mentioned again in the movie, and his death has nothing to do with the plot. It's like they just said, you know what would be great? Putting a scene where some random dude gets his face blown off with a double barrel.